Hey guys, and welcome to a very overdue bullet journal video. When I last showed you my bullet journal, it was the end of December 2017, and I was in the middle of my third journal. Now it is the end of March 2018 when I'm filming this, at the start of April when you're seeing this, and I am nearly halfway through my fourth bullet journal. So needless to say, I owe you an update. So if you don't know what a bullet journal is, it's a journaling and organizational system created by Ryder Carroll, and you can learn more about it at bulletjournal.com. You can also check out my journaling playlist, which will be linked below. So this is where we left off back in December. I was about halfway through my third journal, which is a Rhodia dotted notebook. I had barely used my journal in December other than to plan for the next year, but I definitely used it more in January. So I started off 2018 with a goals page for the year, as well as a cover page. Next up we have a page of January goals, and I have discovered that I never reference these pages again because it's something that's good in theory but bad in practice, for me at least, so I stopped doing that. Then we have a January cover page, and I decided that for 2018 I was going to use the stickers from the Recollections seasonal sticker book to determine my color scheme for the month. So January's color scheme was black and gold. In the next spread I continued with my month in pixels and 3 good things layouts, and I decided that on the pixels page I would look at the idea that if you spend 20 hours on something every month, you will get better at that thing or something like that. So I decided to track how much time I spent doing YouTube related prep work like captions, thumbnails, etc. How much time I spent filming, how much time I spent editing, how much time I spent working on my Instagram account, and how much time I spent crafting. And as you can see, tracking Instagram didn't really work out, so I'm not tracking that one anymore. Moving into my dailies, I was experimenting with the layouts a bit. I tried putting a calendar of sorts over on the right here, but it really screwed up my time tracking layout and it was a total mess. Then I decided to do some self-reflection of sorts and do the Year Compass workbook. You can get it for free at yearcompass.com. It's just one of those like looking back on the past year, looking towards the next year type of things. So I did that in my journal and that took up a few pages. In the middle of all of that, in true bullet journal fashion, I set up a YouTube and Instagram tracker for January and February. This is mostly to track how often I post on each site, because I really am trying to be more consistent with posting even if it doesn't seem like it. So there's more Year Compass here. And then I also decided to purchase the ebook version of Your Best Year 2018 Life Edition, which I will link to below. This is a much longer book, and it's been so long since I've actually worked on it that I pretty much need to start over, unfortunately. But that's okay. I've set myself a goal of working on it 3 times a week in April, so we'll see how that goes. So there's a bunch in here, and all that self-improvement took up quite a few pages, but eventually we get back to the dailies. I tried putting the mini calendar up top this time, which was a bit better, but I still wasn't happy with it. During January, I was watching a lot of, and I'm probably going to butcher her last name, I apologize in advance, Cindy Gunter Baldo. I'm so sorry, Cindy, if you see this. I can't pronounce your name. Also known as Lamb is Love Lettering here on YouTube, and in January she was doing daily planner videos. She's actually doing the same thing in April this year. Doing a video about her planner and how she plans her life every day. And in those videos, she happened to be doing a couple of different daily challenges in her bullet journal, and that inspired me to try them myself. So this was my oh so cute doodles spread. And this was my Llama's Love Lettering Every Damn Day spread, which is Cindy's lettering challenge. I started with January, but I had so much space left over that I just put February in there too. And then I have a spread for YouTube and Instagram ideas. And then here is where I started a layout that has stuck with me to this day. Someone posted this running weekly task list in one of the many bullet journal Facebook groups that I'm in. And I thought it was great because I found that when I write the tasks over here, like under each day as I come across them, I tend to have trouble keeping track of them. I lose track of what I've done, what I still have to do, that sort of thing. But when they're in a list format like this all on one page, it's a lot easier to keep track of them for me. So I really liked that and decided to give that a try, and then I could also put a calendar up here and it wouldn't mess up my layouts on this side. So I continued with my daily time tracking and whatnot over here, and at the bottom here I glued in my wristband from the Walk the Moon concert that I went to on that night, and it was amazing. I can't wait to see them again. And then here I tried to line up my dailies with my task list as much as I could. The dailies on this side line up with the task list over here, and the dailies on this side line up with the task list over here. So these are the last pages of January, followed by some planning of layouts and whatnot for my next journal. These are marker and pencil crayon swatches. I put those in every journal so I can see what the colors look like on the paper and so on. This is just a pen test page. Back here I have my little flip out, this is gonna be hard, my little flip out key that I have here for my time tracking, although I pretty much haven't memorized at this point. But this is just an index card and some washi tape. And speaking of washi tape, that's as far as my washi collage got in this book, because I missed a couple of months here and there due to life things, so I didn't use as much washi as I normally would in the journal, so there's a big gap there, but that's what it looks like. And that is it for my third bullet journal. For my fourth journal, I decided to go back to the tried and true Leuchtturm 1917, in part because it was on sale at the time. I ended up getting the silver anniversary edition, and as you can see, I've tabbed the crap out of it. I tabbed the months up top there, and then I just tab layouts and spreads and whatnot that I need to reference frequently on the side. Like always, I put nothing on the front page. I stuck with a silver theme for my index because I was inspired by Sunshine and Stationery here on YouTube. She has the copper anniversary edition, and she's using a copper colored pen for her layouts, and I just thought that looked really cool. I also put a list of my threaded collections up at the top of my index for easy reference. A threaded collection is when you have a large collection in a previous journal that you really don't want to have to copy over to your new journal. So to thread it, all you need to do is write down in your current journal what the page numbers are in the old journal, and then you can just go back to that journal and those pages when you need to. Here I have my 100-ish days of no spend tracker. This is strictly for craft supplies because I was spending a lot in the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. And I mean, as you can see, I have broken it many times. Normally when I put myself on a no spend, every time I break it, I add another day to the length of the challenge as like a punishment. But this time though, I wanted to be stricter with myself, so I add an extra day for every $10 that I spend. So you can probably see here, my no spend was supposed to end on April 25th, or April 26th, I guess. The last day would have been April 25th, and instead it's going to end on June 2nd. Whoops. This is the last time I spread. I've talked about this in previous videos. And then this is the beginning of February, and after resisting it for literally years, I finally gave in and started drawing in a monthly calendar, and that's now what I'm using for my monthly cover pages. I also leave enough room on the side here to write down upcoming dates in the future to remember. This is my February Oh So Cute Doodle spread. There's the prompts there, and then down here I have the prompts for the Oodles of Doodles spread for that month, which I drew on the next page. In an effort to do that like collage-y style of doodling where it all kind of comes together, and needless to say, it didn't work. Here we have my month in pixels, my 20 hours a month, and good things. Here I have a spending tracker where I keep track of how much I am spending on craft supplies, fast food, and Pokemon Go. This was a very short-lived dailies page that I didn't really use, so I used the empty space to make a Happy Mail tracker for all of those Valentine swaps that I was doing. And then we're back into the dailies with a running task list here. This is just a collection of things that I want to eventually look into. This is my good old YouTube backlog tracker. I decided this year that I wanted to try and make 365 crafty things in the year, so this is my tracker. And so far I've made 8, but that's going to be changing very soon. This is my the last time I cleaned stuff spread that I keep forgetting to actually date when I do stuff. I think I tried this last journal too and it didn't work then either. This is my spread ideas page. I modeled it off of the page I had in my second bullet journal, which had the Generation 1 starter Pokemon on it. So for this one I added the Generation 2 starters. More dailies, the week of Valentine's Day, can you tell? It's my list of entries for my 100 subscribers giveaway. Here's where I started to make my task lists more than a week long so that I could get more dailies into it before I would have to transfer it over again. So this list ran from February 18th to 28th and my dailies covered 3 pages. This is my decluttering spread, which you will hear about more in an upcoming video. This is my March calendar. It's a little less sticker heavy than February was. Pixels, 20 hours, good things. Llama's love lettering. Oh so cute doodles. And into March dailies. I have a health tracker here, which I transferred over from my last journal. YouTube and Instagram ideas. I have my YouTube and Instagram tracker for March through June. This is my weird little graphs that kind of ended up backwards, but that's okay. Tracking my numbers on my YouTube and my Instagram, as well as how successful I have been with the 20 hours a month idea. Some craft ideas. Planning for VEDA, but it's a secret. Shh. Back to dailies, again stretching that task list as far as I can. Doesn't always work. This is my tracker for my monthly SCT samplers, which is a subscription service from Scrapbook and Cards Today. I will get more into what that is in a future video, but basically I'm just tracking how many of the items I get that I actually want to keep and use and how many I end up destashing. More dailies. And now we're into April. My color scheme for this month is kind of all over the place, mostly because I thought it was going to be blue and I was a little disappointed when I found out it was purple. So I just decided to go with spring colors in general, since the stickers from Michaels are all like pastel springy colors anyways. So my calendar is purple. And then this month, instead of doing a pixel spread, I decided to try doing a priorities page for daily and weekly things I want to be doing. And then I'm still tracking my 20 hours a month over here, and then that goes right into my good things spread. My lettering spread. Here I have my VEDA tracker so I can keep track of what I still need to do for what video. And this is my tracker for the 100-day project, which is again something I will talk about in another video. I ended up going a little sticker crazy with this layout, but that's okay. Really sticker crazy. And then here we end on my first page of dailies for April 2018. So that is it for this bullet journal update. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a share. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that little bell in the corner to be notified when I next upload a video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.